Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make Oreo balls, but not just any Oreo balls. So we're going to make a golden Oreo ball of vanilla. We're also going to make a Nutter Butter ball as well as the traditional Oreo ball. Now we're just making a tray of these for a New Year's Eve party, so I'll show you how you can set it up so it looks really nice. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Andrea, so let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into this. So since I'm making 3 different kinds of Oreo balls, and I don't have a large guest list, I don't want to make full batches, so I'm going to make half batches. So I'm going to need only 18 Oreos, and I've put them in a Ziploc bag, and with a rolling pin I've crushed them all up. If you have a food processor, you can just throw them in there and pulse it until they're a powder. And then with a half a batch, I'm only going to need 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these into my mixing bowl here. And then add the 4 ounces of cream cheese. Now, if you do have a food processor, you can just crush the Oreos in your food processor and then go ahead and just add your cream cheese to that and mix it all up at once. So we're just going to mix this well. You could mix this by hand as well. All right, it just takes like a minute or so, just so that it's all mixed in well. Okay, I'm going to set that aside there. Now I've already mixed up my golden Oreos. Same process, 18 Oreos, 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. And then I've also already mixed up the Nutter Butters, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and then just half the package. They come in two sides, so it was easy just to divide them in half. So we're going to go ahead and scoop these up. And I've got a sheet tray here that I've lined with parchment. You can line it with wax paper, parchment paper, just whichever you have. So, and then I'm using kind of my bigger scoop. So these will really be about 2 bites. So the bigger scoop, we're just going to scoop them up, and then we're just going to roll them. Just kind of get them a nice ball size there. And then just place it on your sheet. And you can put them close together. We're just putting them on this sheet so that we can put it in the refrigerator to chill them. That will help firm them up before we dip them in chocolate. And then you're just going to do the same process with the Nutter Butter cookies and as well as the regular Oreos. So our little cookie truffle balls have chilled in the fridge for, it's probably more like 45 minutes, but half hour would have been fine. So they're cold and they're firm, so they're ready to start dipping in the chocolate. So I've got about 2 cups of water in my small saucepan, and I've already brought it to a boil and then turned it down on low. The fire's still on because I want to keep it hot. And then I've got 3 metal bowls here that all fit just on top here. This way your bowl is not touching the water. If it touches the water, then it's going to be too hot underneath. So as you can see, so it just fits on there. You don't want your water boiling when you're melting the chocolate. If the steam comes up or water comes up and gets into your chocolate, then that will seize up. So just keeping it on low at this point will keep it warm enough. Now I've got 3 different kinds of chocolate. So I've got white chocolate, I've got dark chocolate, and milk chocolate. So let me just set these over here, and we're going to start with the white chocolate. And I'm going to, this is 10 ounces, so I'm going to put probably half of this, well actually probably more than half. Probably put about 8 ounces worth in there. If I need more, I can melt more. So we're just going to get the chocolate melting. This chocolate melts really fast, being just kind of the discs. So you can kind of see they're not real thick, so they're going to melt really quickly. Now you can use whatever kind of chocolate you want. I just like this brand and the fact that I don't have to cut it up. So I can just dump it right in and go. So if your water's already hot, your metal pan is going to get hot pretty quick. So it's going to start melting really quickly. You can see. And since it's metal, you're going to need something. I just use a paper towel to grab a hold of it, just to kind of hold it still. Just going to give it a stir every now and then. And you can see how quickly it melts. So for the vanilla ones, I've got some sprinkles to put on. So I've got some gold sanding sugar. Give it a little bit of bling. And then I've got this glitter sugar as well. That's kind of a real pale pink with a few colors in there too. So we'll probably kind of alternate between all those. Now I have another baking sheet here with parchment on it to put these onto. So, and 2 forks. So we're just going to take our little cookie balls and just throw them in to the chocolate. And you're just going to tap it. Tap all the chocolate off of there, all the excess. And then you're just going to put it over onto your cookie sheet. So we're going to do just a couple of these at a time, and then we'll add our sparkle on there, just because we don't want them to set up to where it won't stick. can see it. There we go. And let's go ahead . All right, so our vanilla ones are done. So we're going to move on to the regular Oreos. And I've gone ahead and melted down the excess white chocolate that was left in the bowl. And I know that that's not going to be enough for all of these, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. So I only added maybe 2 ounces more. So I'm just going to melt that back down again. All right, so same process. So we're just going to take our chocolate ones, just drop it in there. And then just tap it off there. Now for these, we're actually going to do a little drizzle of milk chocolate on them, so we won't have any sprinkles on them. And if you're doing different colors, always do your vanilla ones first, because these will always leave a little bit of chocolate in your melted white chocolate. That way your vanilla ones don't have that. So either that or just switch bowls to a new bowl. You just wouldn't be able to use up the excess white chocolate. All right, so now we're ready for the butter cookie balls here. I have melted some dark chocolate, about half, so about 5 ounces. And that's all melted nicely. So grab some clean forks, and then we're going to top these with some actual chopped peanuts. So there's about 1 ounce of honey roasted peanuts that I'll put in there. One, it'll look nice, but two, it will let people know that it's peanuts in there. So if you're making something for a large group of people, I would probably avoid the peanut ones just because you don't know who might have a peanut allergy or how severe it might be. But if you do make them, please make sure that you label those really well and don't make them at the same time. So make sure they're not sitting on the same platter like I had them with the others. So I know my guests are all fine, so there's no worries there. So this is just the same process. Find a spot. There we go. Okay. Alright, so I've got the peanut butter ones done, and they're just sitting there and firming up. So now we're going to come back to our traditional Oreo ball, and I'm just going to melt about 1 ounce, a very small amount, maybe 1 ounce of milk chocolate, because we're just going to do a drizzle over these. So it won't take very much. And if you have leftover white chocolate or other chocolates and you don't want to waste it, you can just drizzle it on there. I did that with these. So, and I did that with the peanut butter ones as well. It just gives it a little thicker of a coating of chocolate. So sometimes the forks just work better when you're doing this. So. Kind of drizzle this on here. If you really wanted them really super neat and tidy, you could do one at a time instead of all of them at once, but I'm going more for a little bit of an abstract look, so there we go. All right, so I'm just going to let all of these just kind of chill so they can firm up, and then I'll come back and we'll plate these up. All right, so they've all sat and had time to firm up, and I did go through, sometimes you'll have them what I call feet, where there's just chocolate that's pooled around them. So just use a little paring knife. You can just leave them on the tray and just kind of cut that excess off. That way they look nice and neat. So I've got a wood plank here that I'm going to use as my serving platter. So let's just go through, and we're just going to kind of wing this as to how it's going to look. We're just going to kind of put these on here. That one's a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, just some sort of a design. Or you could just go straight up and down or in circles, just whatever you like. So we're just going to put these next. Like so. And then we've got these, and we're going to alternate these with their colors. Okay, and let's go back over on this side. Like so. And then we're going to bring these over. So you might have to squish some of these in just to get them to angle right. There we go. And so really the design of the plating is just whatever you like, whatever looks good to you. And I think that's about it. All right. So there we have it. We've got our platter all ready for our New Year's Eve gathering. That way people can just see what they are. They can come up and just grab one. Easy enough to do. So, and it's just a couple of bites. So just gives them a nice sweet treat after they've had some hors d'oeuvres or a dinner, whatever you're planning. So I hope you like this video, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos.